Greeks made a gezerah, a special gezerah, that on the horn of the cow, you can come bring her in. Come in. On the horn of the cow, yeah, bring it. Come right in here. Just come in. At the horn of the cow, they should write that this should not. I forgot exact the lashon, but it goes that. Ein lanu what? That's Ein lanu chelek mi melekei Yisrael. The question is why they put it on the horn. There's many explanations. Of course, the cow plows and gives the food. One of the explanations is given is that when you go to a museum, and there's a museum in France that has all these historical things that happened in the past. Everybody's interested in what the past was. So they want to, what would a bottles, baby's bottles look like years ago? So they have baby's bottles, and we have a glass baby bottle, thank you. And you have plastic, you have glass, and then years ago they had a charsina, and years ago what did they use? Horns, the horns of the animal. So what they really were saying to the mothers and to us educational-wise, that what? That little kids, education of little kids from the beginning of birth of getting the milk, that milk connection to the Jewish God. They got to understand, what is this big fight that the Greeks have to go so far in educating the little babies who can't even read, who don't know what's on the thing, and they're already worrying about that maybe these kids will have some godliness, some spirituality, some holiness, some purity in their education, and what's going to happen with the Greeks there? What's going to happen with the Greek culture? You know what I mean? They'll have a problem with Greek culture, and they won't be able to take the Jewish people away from the Greek culture. So that was the problem. Why do they bother with the poor little children? She speaks English. French. Okay, you'll talk in French. But what? No, there was a gezerah of the Greeks. The time of the Hashmonaim, that the Jewish people should do Milah, no Shabbat, and also should write on the horns of the cows. What are you supposed to write there? No? Loud. Ein lanu chelek v'elokei. We have no connection to the Jewish God. So, there's a lot of explanations. One explanation is that when they would feed the babies, that's how they used the bottles those days, was through the horns, that they're already educating the child, that the child doesn't read, etc., but somehow the education of the child is such that I'm connected with the Jewish God. Now, what is really the fight between the Greeks and the Jews? They also had gods. They had all kinds of gods. They believed in God, but they had different type of gods. And we know the Greeks had to do with beauty and the body and this and that. But what really was the difference? How would you define the difference between the Jews and the Greeks? And we don't have to go far. We can read what did the scientists say about the Goyim and the Jews. I mean, the religious people. What are we fighting today? What is that about? What are we talking about? And the reason why what they gave would not help. Why? Because they think education of the child starts at birth. We say no. When does education start? way before, but even more so. We say the second in the neshama, before the neshama goes into the body, already we say every little baby already had in it. They're learning Torah. Torah's in it. They're learning a lot of Torah, and they tell over the story that how come in Rivka's stomach when he passed by the non-religious things, then one baby wanted to come out. The religious Torah based madrasa of Shem the other baby wanted to come out. so they said, why didn't Esav, if he wanted to go out really to the Abaydas or the ironwood, why didn't he jump out? So the joke is that no, he'll go out and let Yaakov stay in. No way. So he had to go back in to make sure he'd stay there, that Yaakov wouldn't get out. And he'd also have to be there. He didn't want to have Yaakov's any advantage. That's the joke. But anyway, basically, we believe that this is what we believe. What do we believe? The non-Jews, the scientists of the world believe what? They believe that the world, we're like animals. That's the theory of Darwin. You're born and die, except there's pigs, there's little rats, there's guinea pigs, and there's fish, and there's birds, and plants. And that, whatever you have in the world is the world, that's all. It just so happens there's a certain nature of everything. It means different. Certain plants need certain things. Certain animals need certain animals to eat. Certain animals eat certain bugs. Certain fish eat certain things. In other words, everything has its own nature and its own kind. Man, because of fear and hope, needs values. Needs to have his value system. Everybody agrees that man needs for his own being to be moral and just, ethical, right? And he needs social pressure and social pressure. Except they only believe that it's only a need of man, just like the physical body of man. He sees, there's sight, there's a physical thing called sight. So that's also, and we don't know how sight works, but it's there. There's certain feelings that we have. Same too, there's a special nature of the mind, and called the soul, that is needed. But actually it's only a function of man, a special function that man has, and it's only in the man's head, nowhere else. The second man dies, or the world will disappear. Then all these values, all these functions disappear. It has no real intrinsic, eternal values whatsoever. It's all in the man's head. Therefore, you grab in the now, and you lie, you're dead, you get your pleasures, and you take your chances, and you enjoy yourself, you get the most out of life what's the end in the now. In the future, you die, that's the end. Therefore, life is cheap, you fight for your life, you're interested in pleasure, you push to adventure, you have an adventure ratio, all these type of things. And therefore, the religious world, the Jews, is a little different. We believe that with the world, without the world, God exists. He doesn't need the world. And the Almighty, the way we perceive God, we only can understand through the actions and the things that we perceive, which is kindness, mercifulness, justice, morality that exists. And this exists with the world, without the world. It's a very deep statement. We believe it exists with the world and without the world. It's not a man's head. These are eternal values. Just like you say, the scientists, we want to say that 2 plus 2 is 4, with the world, without the world. It's a truth that exists. And so therefore, the values of the Almighty, justice, morality, etc., exist with me and without me. Always with me. Now we get to the point. Yes, of course. What? How do you know that? I'm just repeating what Einstein says in his article. They hold, the scientists hold, that there's equal truth with the world without the world, which is number system that exists. Now, the system, what? No, the Jewish will explain, we also believe it's with the world without the world. But we also believe more than that. We believe that justice, morality, ethics, and values are with the world without the world. And what do we gain from that step? Now, when we believe that when God created the world, so he wants these principles, his ideas, his will to be followed, and we take the ideas of justice, morality, and we put it into the world. That's what we say when he created the world. And this merged 6 months. He wanted to create the world, and the truth said, no, I don't want the world to be created. So he took the truth and threw it into the ground, and the ground truth blew it from the ground, which means that the truth comes from man. So the non-religious Jew and the Greeks would say, truth comes, therefore man is the center, and therefore it's man's head, and whatever man decides, that's what it is. What society decides, what the king decides, what parliament decides, what the mafia decides, that's what the ruling of the people. They're only valuable for what it is. And since the God took their ideas and said it has to go into the world, therefore whatever man wants it does. The Jewish people have a little different view from this. And this has to do with the soul and the body. There's the physical body and the soul. It has to do with the soul and body and the land of Israel, which is also physical. With the relationship of the spiritual aspect with the physical aspect. And therefore, we believe that these spiritual things of just morality are enhanced through mitzvahs, with these, and these give enhance, we'll say right away, that it elevates the physical and the spiritual, and also we bring the spiritual forces into the world. And it has to keep up with the standards, not left to man alone. Certain parts are left to man when the holidays will be, and this, but which is time, which is a temporal thing of man. But the values of ethics and morality, that remains in the hand of God. And certain situations make it. And then God is a live God and it's vibrant, so therefore the Torah, there's new situations with him. But yet the foundation is the same of justice, morality, and the different cases and different stories, and the different physical aspects are. And the purpose of man is to elevate the physical to spiritual, and following the rules of the Torah that exist. The pentagon of the Torah, the formula of the Torah exists. We have to apply it to the life and bring that, elevate these principles in life to a higher dimension. To bring holiness, spirituality, purity into the world in our daily living. And that what you do is not just momentarily, since you're bringing these qualities, this is what you do in the world, bring these qualities into the world, therefore these qualities are lasting forever. Because there are qualities there, as an Olam Haba, means lasting forever, and God judges it, and he wants you to correct it. You don't correct it in this world, but you'll make it correct it, come back in the world, you know, those people that believe, those rabbis, showing them believe, there's a Gilgul, you come back again, those that don't, but those people, most rabbis believe there is a Gilgul, and therefore you come back until you purify yourself and correct yourself. Now, to make a long story short, it comes out like this. Most people do. What? A lot of views, but most people. Because it's built upon the theory that man was created for his benefit, he didn't value and change it now, so God gives him another chance to see mercy, and another chance to see mercy. After 10 generations, that you don't shape up, so you destroy it. You destroy the world, you destroy people. When the world will come, when the Mashiach will come, a lot of people will be surprised and they'll just disappear. What? No, nobody knows. They're looking at your palm in the hand, okay, they're doing it. People have ways of it. But who knows? We don't know. But the conceptually is that the person has to fix up himself. Because people want to understand, how come this happened, how did the baby die, how come the story happened here? So they say Gilgul, and that's like a way of solving the problem. But you don't know. It's very solved. Not understanding yourself. So now we have the fight between the priests and the Jews. Very serious. That's why it comes to Mordechai Shabbos. We talk about my canonical life. Refers to the light, which means the Shemin is the physical. It's translated into light to a more spiritual type. And it's a spiritual lack. That is like the soul and the body. The soul is supposed to be of a different material, spiritually, which is the values of righteousness, kindness, mercifulness are lasting qualities, and much less than the qualities of God that were seen by us, that God revealed to us of what is around. So therefore there was a very tough fight, a threat to the Greek world, that there are eternal values with the world out there. They last, and some education starts from time to time. You say, no, in the Neshama is already. If you hold it, Jewish people in high Sinai, when we got the Torah, we said, Master, the Neshama. So our souls became bonded, in the sense that whenever you do as a Jew, no matter what, if you love Christianity or Judaism, you still made it because your soul was connected, as you know, to be a slave to the Almighty and to follow His law. There's no way to break that down. It's like the DNA of the Jewish soul, which is just like before. And maybe they're going to try to give the Jewish people a test that they should follow what their body, the physical things around them, fun, joy, going to the place of athlete's place, and take their body of beauty and their culture, and leave the Jewish fold. But now the Jewish people have proven that their society of believing in the physical world and the man in the physical world disappeared, and the Jewish people still live on and are living here today. There's a miracle for 2,000 years of exile, of fight, you want it, that's always the problem. But you see that on the Shochai, that's true. The spirituality, the holiness of the quality of the Torah, can be as a certain holy. It's what as a certain holy, in the sense that the physical elevates spiritual, that's as a certain holy. It has spiritual value, and the body is spiritual value. If a living in the physical, it will affect the physical aspect of the being, or affect the spiritual aspect of it, and you got to do those type of mysteries in the land, which are holiness and purity, which open up and expand the person, therefore make the person. It's just a beginning piece that I want to talk about. I want to talk about Hanukkah, I want to talk about really, when we talked about it earlier, we were talking about it, and we were talking about that Abraham. We were speaking today, so, I want to read what Rabbi from Rosh Hashanah Shabbat, going back many years, Rabbi from Shabbat and Shabbat wrote. Where are we from? Jim? So it's separate, it's separate. It's 100. It's separate satisfaction. No. The separate about it. Rich, Jim, you're great. To make men of Thomas Island say, 60 some odd years ago. 60 some odd years ago, he wrote this paper. I think 50 years ago. But maybe around the time of the war. Really? 1940? Before the war.
A popcorn machine and jet plane. That was their problem. This goes back many years when popcorn machines were like, really in the end. But anyway, we have to thank Hashem for it. And God goes beyond the duty for us, and we have to go beyond. The Jewish values are eternal. And that's what the light stands for. Light's eternity. The values are eternal. The Jewish people are around. The light still goes. The Beis Hamikdash is coming. That's what, when we talk about Olam Haba and death and all that, we say Nitzchi means that these values are with the world and out the world and will always exist. That's what it means. That's what Olam Haba means. That's what Tchias HaMesim means. That's what it means reward and punishment. Now whatever you do, if that's true, then you got to increase the quality of every action you do to make sure if it's eternal and has value beyond your head and beyond yourself, you have to make sure it's done properly and correctly. And that's there's a Jewish, and to elevate the physical to spiritual. And that's our job. Because God, He created from the spiritual aspects of merciful and kindness and justice, He created a physical world. So somehow these factors are in the world, and we have to bring those factors out and show it through mitzvahs and through deeds. That's an expression of this belief and idea that there's eternity, there's a God created. These are beyond the physical aspect of the world and man. While the world believes that the world is finite, and man his own brain, and he dies, he's finished, and man his own brain has only the Godhead, whatever it may be, he needs it. And even those that believe in a God, that they never were able to find a system where they were able to develop it in such a way as to bring out the qualities of kindness, justice, and mercy in a real way. And that's what they say, that the chukim of the non-Jews, they'll never get out of their problems. They can't get out of it. Impossible. Because they made it in such a way as they can't get out of it. It's only through the Torah that We have to feel thankful when Hanukkah comes, to be thankful to Hashem. And that's the time also to get your children together, if they have off, I don't know, and to talk to them and work with the children to have them grow and appreciate the values of the Jewish people, and the values of God that we're around today, and we represent spiritual values. And that's what it's about.
A person doesn't feel happy just if he pushes till the end and so also happiness doesn't come if you don't do behind.
Yeah, that's my word. Yeah. You cannot be satisfied until you push yourself to the end. Just like Hashem is saying. Why? Because if you're talking about MS, you have to push yourself. Look, we have a lot of demands. You're tired at night, you get up in the morning, you have to daven. You're tired, you still have to take care of yourself. You're tired, come Shabbos, you got to forget about yourself and forget about your problems, and this, and that, take care of Shabbos. So we do have ways that there's a lot of demands out there. But the demands are spiritual, and in the end you gain from it if you do it properly. You gain the spirituality, and then your soul, don't forget you have a soul and a body. And you have to have peace between them. You have to have the proper dimensions, the proper harmony between them. And the only can be is only one way to this. No other way. Don't believe anybody. Harmony between to get harmony between the soul and the body, doing this and doing things with your heart. Especially Jewish people whose soul is at Har Sinai, they'll never be satisfied. I told it to a guy in Yeshiva. It's written, he'll tell you himself. He's ready to leave the Yeshiva. It's by 2 years in Yeshiva. He's getting married to this girl, this fancy girl from Manhattan Beach. And she wants him to go to school, then they'll give loads of money, which will never happen. And he went and he became a lawyer in America. I told before this, once you've tasted the sweetness of learning, you'll never be satisfied until you learn the Gemara and Shas. And today he still learns the Gemara. He has a Daf Yomi, and he's going to come back to Yeshiva. Finishes getting his money. But once you taste that sweetness, you must learn it. There's no way out of it. Once you taste the sweetness of God and religion, you must always do it. That's like a opium of the person. You must do it. You must continue. There's no way out of it. What? That means like a drug. And why? Because Torah is called Samachayim. Samachayim. Torah is called Samachayim.
Which is
a drug.
A drug of life.
A drug of life. Because you see, according to Chazal, the love of God is greater than the love of a woman. The love of God is the strongest force, one of the strongest forces. And when Avram Avinu was tested, I'm going to leave right away, when Avram was tested, what the test was, the only force that can win the test was God-fearingness and love of God. And that was the force that made him win. And that's the fact that Isha, Yiras Hashem, Hitasal. Again, the fact that it drives the woman, that keeps her balance in life, is God-fearing. There's no other factor. A God-fearing woman can keep herself above board. Nothing else. I wish everybody a Chag Sameach, and real fast, I wanted to give out some of the sheets here. We'll be talking about it on in the Yeshiva a little bit. I'll be there for Hanukkah, Yiras Hashem. An interesting idea. What? Batayin. We're in Meitzad. Batayin is a different type. It's a Hasidic. We are misnagdim, but we follow God's will all the way. We go to mikvahs, do everything like they do, but we don't call it Hasidic. We call it just being a good Jew. What it says. There's enough rules to be a good Jew. All the rules are right there. You open the shul. Ethics there, what to do, and how to run life, and how to pray with all the kavanah. It's right in the shul. It's in the shulchan. It's in the shulchan. It's all there. It's not mystical. It's all there. People make a lot of things not true. It's simplistic things that everybody got to do, and everybody has to do that. And nobody else can get away. Okay, I have to run back to teach. Okay, and we'll show you how to do that.
There's a seminar with the rabbis and the teacher at 9 o'clock in the morning.
In the morning?
In the morning.
Okay.
What, on Hanukkah?
I don't know, there's a program.
I don't know yet.
Next week.
Okay, we'll do it.
Here.